and by this, the unity of God. The ceremony ends with a prayer for the peace of the souls of all the prophets and believers. After the completion of the Sema, all the dervishes retire silently to their rooms for meditation and further remembrance of God.
The costumes are symbolic as well. The hat that they wear, I think, is of camel skin, and it represents, I think, the tombstone of man's ego. And then the white, big, whirling skirt is a shroud. It represents the shroud over the tombstone. And they wear a black cape, which they shed, and when they take that cape off, it's a symbol of rebirth.
It's in the dance of the dervishes that this relationship between the head, knowledge, and the heart, the feelings, and so forth, and then the body are exemplified in a very dramatic way.
The dance, the whirling itself is beautiful because the semazen has one hand extended up towards heaven and the other down to earth, in a sense receiving the blessings and mercy of God and sharing them with his brothers and sisters.
The Mevlevi Dervish traveling around the United States, the world, it offers a taste. No more than a taste, but something very important, that initial awareness that there is something out there to be sought. And then we must chase it. And then we must do the work of following.
Rumi's message was a message of tolerance and love. And in a world today where men seem to be separated from each other by religious differences, by cultural differences, by color, if we were to espouse his message and truly live what he says, there would be no way that we could hate each other. We could do nothing but love each other. Rumi's message was a message of universal love. And sadly, even today, 700 years after his life, we haven't learned it.
Rumi's life and works show us that it is not faith, belief, and religion which cause hatred, conflict, and violence, but the sins of hatred and greed and other symptoms of the unrestrained ego. And he showed us how the true practice of religion, the purification of the heart, is the remedy for these. In our days, his life and works are a reminder to all that the clash of civilizations is far from inevitable, and they show us how to derive hope, renewal, and reconciliation, rather than despair, fear, and enmity from our differences. He invites us to call constantly to mind that we are all one. From God we come, and to God we will return.
That we worship the same God, who's one. And as I learn more about Islam traditions and theology, I am convinced that we're much closer than we are apart.
Come, come, come again, whoever you may be. Come again, even though you may be a pagan or fire worshiper. Our hearth is not the threshold of despair. Come again, even if you may have violated your vows 100 times. Come again.